How's it going, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Points and Travel. I am your host, JP Buffett, and on this week's episode, we'll be discussing why everyone and their mother, well, okay, maybe not their mother, is discussing the Chase Sapphire Preferred, aka the CSP, aka Baby Blue. That last one's not real. But yes, that we'll be discussing today on This Week in Points and Travel. But up first, we'll be talking about the devaluation of the United Mileage Plus program. This is their frequent flyer program coming from United. According to a report by 1 Mile at a Time, they'll be rolling out a mileage devaluation that is potentially the worst in history. Now, that sounds a little hyperbolic, but that's what they're saying. The report goes on to say that the program will increase their reward costs by about 30%. This is apparent when looking at transatlantic travel in particular. Additionally, it does not matter if you're booking for a United flight or for a partner flight. The increase is across the board. So basically what they're saying is if you are booking on United or you're trying to use United mileage points, the fares will be increased across the board. So no matter where you try to go, you cannot hide from this fare increase. They basically gave an example of a flight, basically the Saver flying program, which is United's lowest cost economy flights, starting a flight for 30,000 points, and they also gave a flight for 60,000 points in business. It's the same flight, but one's 30,000 for economy and another is 60,000 mileage plus points for business. They showed that these flights increased. These are transatlantic flights. These flights increased to 40,000 and 80,000 points respectively. This is tough. I won't deny this is tough, but in the world of inflation, points inflate too. Do not forget that. It's always a good idea not to hold onto points too long because they will lose their value over time. And on top of that, it seems that the companies, don't want us to get outsized value. That's pretty much in my mind. They don't want us to gain too much extra value from the points they're putting out. They want paying customers. That is what they want. So it makes sense in this respect that they're going to do this. But, with that being said, there are other ways around it. You can go through Aeroplan, which is through Air Canada. They're also, I think, they're also a partner with them. So you can book United flights or other flights through Air Canada. Through Aeroplan from Air Canada. Or you can go the way of the Life Miles, through Avianca Life Miles. It's another partner of United. And you can book these flights. So there are other ways around it, even though United is trying to go the way of Delta. But yeah, basically the Sky Pesos, all that stuff. But yeah, this is a devaluation of the United Mileage Plus program. In our main story this week, I'll be talking about the Chase Sapphire Preferred. The Chase card that gives everybody the nightmares of 524. Trust me, Jamie Dimon is not under your bed, kids. This is not something to be worried about. But given the 80K offer is out there, and there's so many people, you can't see a YouTube video or whatnot without somebody talking about the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the 80K offer. It is ubiquitous throughout the entire system. So that leads us to this question for this week: is why are people considering the Chase Sapphire Preferred card as the best first travel card for the average traveler? I don't think you can go anywhere. Without somebody spotting how good the Chase Sapphire Preferred is. And so, we're going to ask the question this week as to why it might be that way. So the Chase Sapphire Preferred has been around for about 14 years. It was first initially launched back in 2009. And since that time, it has been at the forefront of travel, especially for beginning and average travelers. These are travelers that, go maybe 1 to 3 trips a week, not a week, 1 to 3 trips a year. And yeah, so, for a $95 annual fee, the question is, what are the perks really that good? And are the protections really that good for what you're paying for? Is it really worth all the hype? So yeah, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, or the CSP, as I want to call it from now on, has been touted as the best beginner travel card for a few reasons, honestly. First, it obviously is that low annual fee. That $95 entry-level annual fee is low when you compare to a lot of other travel cards, premium travel cards. For example, the Amex Platinum, the newest one in the block, the Capital One Venture X, or even the Chase Sapphire Preferreds or the CSP's big brother, the Chase Sapphire Reserve. All of these have an annual fees of clocking in about $395 to $695. These are pretty hefty annual fees. So, the Chase Sapphire CSP is $300 to $600 cheaper than some of these things. And, while many of these cards, have ways of subsidizing these costs, it is still a pretty hefty chunk of change to be given up in one lump sum. $300 just to give up, at the beginning of the year or whenever your statement opens up. That's a lot of money to be giving up. And on the other hand, the CSP, comes in again at only only at $95, which is, pretty reasonable for most people. While it doesn't, come with things like, lounge access or airline fee credits, it does have decent multipliers in terms of general travel and dining at 2x and 3x. When you book through the Chase Sapphire portal, which is what I think they want you to be doing, you're getting 5x on travel. So, that's just a few different ways I can name. I mean, I'm sure there are many more out there. But yeah, you're getting, in terms of cash back for the cashback fans out there, you're getting 2 to 5% for value on these points when you spend, money. Now, also on top of that, the annual fee is offset by, the $50 hotel credit when booking through the portal. Again, going back to the portal. So all in all, people who want to travel even a little bit, it might be worth it for them. Yet there's still many cards that can give you, some of this value on dining and general travel. The first one that can come to mind for me is the City Double Cash at 2% back or 2x, on everything. And also the Built Rewards card that has pretty decent multipliers when it comes to dining and travel. And both of those cards have no annual fee. So the question I'm asking is, why else would this card be appealing? Well, that brings it to what I was talking about earlier today, earlier in the episode, is the bonus. One thing about the CSP that sets it apart from these other cards is that first off, it has a bonus, and that this bonus can be pretty lucrative, ranging anywhere from 60,000 to 100,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points for $4,000 in spend. And that value can range anywhere from $750 to $1,250, which is a lot of money. And this is mainly, because you're getting 1.25x on all your purchases, again, through the Chase Sapphire portal, which can be very, easy to use for the beginning traveler or the traveler who doesn't want a lot of hoopla in what they're doing. And this is very sweet when you're comparing it to a company, like I said before, Amex, which gives you anywhere from 0.7 to 1 cent per point when you're using their portal, which is less value than I think anybody would really want to get for using their points. Granted, Amex does have great transfer partners that they lean on when people are trying to get outsized value, but for the person that wants simplicity, I think that the Chase card, at the CSP, offers that simplicity for the average traveler. Now, on top of that, speaking of transfer partners, Chase has, one of the most coveted transfer partners of all. They have Hyatt. Hyatt is a strange case, obviously, because it doesn't have a large footprint like Marriott, but it does have a lot of value. I mean, I don't, use it much, but it's true. It does have a lot of value when you use the points, especially the fact you could transfer Chase Ultimate Reward points over to this. It can be a no-brainer for a lot of people. Most hotel currencies, I've come across, like I said, the Hiltons and the Marriotts, they range between 0.5 to 0.8 cents per point. That's basically, how much money you're getting on the value. But for Hyatt, you're getting 2 upwards on average, like 1.8 to 2 cents per point. So this is a really great when people are trying to get a good amount of value out of their points. This strategy is a bit more advanced, obviously. In the beginning, traveler is probably not going to do that, but it's something that is there and is possible. But at the end of the day, I think one of the reasons that people really tout the CSP as one of the best, beginner-friendly or average travel cards is because they can use that portal and they can get value just off the bat. Yeah, the Chase Travel Portal, travelers can get a 4 cents per point, like I said before, of 1.25 cents. This is a no-nonsense way to go. You know exactly what you're getting, and you don't have to think much about it. When it gets down to it, I think it is the simplicity of the service and the high floor compared to other issuers. Like I said before Amex, and that's why the CSP is touted as one of the best travel cards. If not the best, first travel card for anyone who's trying to get into that space. The annual fee isn't outrageous. It has decent multipliers, and the portal is more competitive than other ones out there. These I think are the main reasons that I think people tout the CSP as the first travel card. And finally on that, I think is actually a great gateway into the points and travel space, into the credit card space. If you combine it with the no annual fee, Chase Freedom Flex and the Chase Freedom Unlimited, which also earn the same points, new travelers can learn how to get into the space at little to no risk. Zero annual fee is basically no risk, $95. It's not going to hurt you that bad. And, I am a big fan. I'm a big fan of American Express. But I cannot overlook what Chase brings and what the Chase ecosystem brings in terms of value to travelers. I can't overlook that. It's great. As much as I like to, say it's, whatever, when I was researching this, like, wow, this card is really good. This is a really good card. So I can definitely understand why people would want to get it. It's a great card for almost anyone, and it acts as a good launching pad into the world of points and travel. This is not how everyone started off. If I can redo it, I'll probably go with this card first. But it's not how everybody started off, myself included. But the more I research on this card, the more I see the benefits that come with it. And I will not deny the place of the CSP as the best beginners and average travelers travel credit card. So that will be it for this episode. If you like the podcast, please leave a like, comment, or review. I sincerely appreciate it. And of course, guys, until next time, peace.